Hey guys, and welcome back to the HobbyNut channel. Last night I was catching up on some videos. Great stuff out there. We've got such an awesome community. But one of the videos I ran across was from our buddy Jason over at Blue Ox Model Shop. Let me tell you guys, what an awesome channel. If you're not subscribed, head over there, show Jason some love. But Jason had a community question about model cars and whether they're worthy of going to a contest. And that's something I have given thought to all day long. So, as Jason put it, let's chat. Okay guys, so the question posed was, are my builds good enough to go on a contest table? Well, I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm going to speak just from my perspective and how I look at this. First of all, going back, and I'm going to ramble a minute, I'm going to give you a fair warning, but it's going to give you some perspective of how I'm looking at this anyway. I started building models in 1963 with my dad, and early on, even in that very first model build, he let me paint the engine block red. I mean, that was one of the big things, is red engine blocks. And he was a model builder and a hot rodder himself, so he was right there with me, and I was so proud of that. And that's the other thing, if you're proud of what you built and you had fun, hey, don't have any hesitation putting it on a table to show it off. Not one bit. We've got to keep in mind, it's not about winning anything. It's about, did you have fun doing it, and you're there to share it. Well, over the years, I started doing a lot of stuff. I painted the engine blocks on about everything. Then I started painting the bottom of the chassis, brush painting them flat black. I just started going a little bit more. And as I saw my dad, now back in the early 60s, before there was any that I knew of anyway, detail stuff, my dad was using waxed thread to do spark plug wires. And for the heater hoses, he would use different gauges of solder and paint them with either Pactra or Testors flat black paint. And the more, as I got a little bit older, from 63 to about probably close to 70, then I wanted to start getting into a little bit more, so I started doing what he was doing. But I didn't get the wax thread. I just used that fuzzy regular thread stuff out of Mom's sewing stuff. And but you know what? I was so proud of that stuff. So proud. And guys, I didn't even know there was a such thing as a contest, a model car contest. It wasn't until I was a few years older and I went to my grandparents' house in Petersburg, Virginia, and I saw one of my uncles had one or two, actually I think there were three, two first place and a second place trophy from a model car contest that he had won back in the 60s. And I thought that was cool, but I thought that was a long gone thing. Really didn't care. I still built model cars. Had a blast. Loved race cars, hot rods, stock car, everything. And as I think I built one of everything Tom Daniels ever did, and I would have been proud to put those into a show. Simply because I was proud of them and I had fun doing them. Well, I've shared this before, in 1986, I was in a hobby shop and I had decked out a model. MSC had come out with spark plug wire and the suggestion for number 72 drill bit to drill out the distributor and the heads, and then they had their braided line, and I had really gone all out and detailed a racer and had it on display in the local hobby shop. And a guy came in and said, "Hey, are you going to put that in the models contest in a couple of weeks at the car show?" And I'm like, "There's a model contest?" And so I did. And let me tell you, it didn't matter to me what was going to happen, because I got to meet some absolutely awesome guys, one of which I'm still friends with to this very day. And that's been a lot of years ago. And through that, though, came other shows, contests, meetings at the hobby shop, and I got to know even more guys. And I've shared this with you before, guys. I don't go to contests for awards. From 1986 to I think 93, somewhere in there. They didn't do the plaques and stuff back then. They did some trophies, and I'd gotten a few. And to give you an idea, they just didn't mean that much. So at one point, you got to dust them off and all that stuff. I just popped the plates off of them, stuck them in a scrapbook, and gave the trophies to the local the Cub Scout group in my area for their Pinewood Derby trophies. I mean, you know, it wasn't about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. It's great to be recognized. And that's all great and fine and dandy. And again, you've heard me say I go to shows sometimes if I don't have something ready. So what? I go anyway. Because the fellowship, the shopping, mostly the fellowship. I look forward to who I'm going to see every single show. Who I'm going to meet that's going to become another longtime friend. And guys, we learn, we grow, we draw off of each other. And I'd rather have the friendships I've developed over the years than some trophy anyway. Now, I love to compete when it comes to theme awards. That's why I guess I'm just a sucker to be drawn into a group build or something. Even though it's not a competition, the group builds aren't. It is something that we do together, and that togetherness is just awesome for me personally. Again, it's great to be recognized, but it's not about that. But I love theme awards. I try to jump in on the Acme theme every year if I can, because they're fun. And just to see what everybody else has done, because I've never been to a show that I didn't see something that I go, whoa, man, why didn't I think of that? Or I talk to them and go, hey, how did you come up with that? In one of my recent Now That's Cools with Hector Guadalupe, Hector was telling me some stuff about how he did some things on the engine and the ground effects on that 50 pickup. And by the way, if you haven't seen that, go back and check that video out, maybe 2 videos back. But he gave me a couple of tips on how he did some stuff that I thought, man, I never thought of that. And it just improves us. It's not about trying to outdo the next guy. Guys, try to outdo yourself. To me, it's a challenge to myself. Not anybody else. I've gone to shows and come out of with nothing. So what? And again, that's just me. And y'all have heard me say this before too. If it's all about a trophy, save yourself the money from the entry fee, go down to the trophy store and buy yourself one. And I don't mean that critically or harsh, but I mean, you know, and there's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself. I know every now and then I'll hear my buddy BG, and it brings a big smile to my face when he finishes a project. Let's go have a cookie. I think that's a great way to look at it. I've eaten too many cookies, and here lately I haven't eaten enough because I hadn't finished as much. But guys, let's have fun with this stuff. Let's don't make it into all about this and that. We've got such an awesome community that shares with one another. When we go to these shows, yeah, let's share our ideas. Let's learn some new stuff, and challenge yourself. Not if you do that, eventually maybe something great's going to happen. But even if it don't, look at the fellowship that we have. Don't give up. Have fun. And I know y'all have heard that from everybody. Have fun. But that's what it's all about. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then it's not going to be fun. It's going to be a chore. And don't let it be that. Don't let it be that. Well, I've rambled enough, guys, but anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't build for competition. The first show I went to, I didn't build that car for competition. And I have to admit, though, there have been times on different challenges that I want to see how well I can do. But again, it's not about against somebody else. Because I have learned over the years, no matter how good you think you are, there's always going to be somebody better, somebody new coming in to the hobby, or somebody with a new, fresh idea, things like that. Hey, Don't get upset. Learn from them. Admire what they're doing. Man, I love some of these guys that are out there. I mean, absolutely awesome stuff. Okay, rambled enough. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. Maybe not, but y'all have a great one. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks a bunch, guys.